martial arts class, you'll discover how to use a Japanese bow staff for beginners. Grab your bow or other martial arts long staff and follow me. Put your hand in the middle. You can use either hand to start. I'm left-handed, so I start with the left. My left hand's in the middle of the staff. Turn it all the way up so that the pinky side is going to the sky. The other hand is going to have the palm facing the opposite direction. That thumb is down. This is my right hand. It's going to grab it and turn. I'm going to leave that left hand right under the right. They come together. There's that butterfly spin. Turn it all the way, grab it. Now there are two butterfly spins. There's one overhand and one underhand. Some of the Kung Fu videos you see might use the underhand more. So if you're confused about the difference, that's the only difference. You'll learn both in these workouts. For today, I want you to warm up with this overhand butterfly spin, just to keep the joints lubricated, stay safe from injury during this workout. This is also going to build speed, strength, power, flexibility, spatial awareness, where the staff is in space and time. This is very important, but not for fighting. This is not a fighting move. This is simply a warm-up move. This will give you speed and strength too. Stronger forearms, stronger hands, more flexible wrists. Bring that to a stop and go back the other way. Again, pinky is up, the other hand slides down, takes it. This hand comes right under it. See the butterfly? Turn as far as it'll go, grab it. Gradually increasing your speed. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. What you don't want to do, if you can avoid it, is get those elbows out. Don't start cranking up like this. Try to isolate. They'll move a little bit, and then they won't as you become more flexible and stronger. You want to stay tight when you fight. Tight behind your weapon. Keep your guard in tight, protect your head. Everything coming through your center line becomes more powerful when it's closer. Everything out here might have a lot of momentum. There's some good techniques out there, but a lot of that is just a lack of training. Just spend more time training. All right, bring that one to a stop. Put it back in that first hand. You're gonna go into your endless spin, a forward figure eight motion from side to side in your body. And if you think of your thumb leading, it's just carving this sideways, a number 8 on its side, which is also the infinity sign, which is where the name endless spin comes from. Now that's going forward first. Pull your stomach up and in. Make sure you have good footing, feet not too wide. You want to start feeling all your muscles in your body starting to fire. That's why this is such a great workout for your whole body. The faster you go, the more momentum is in that staff. It's going to start to pull itself around. Don't fight it, but don't overturn. If you're hitting yourself here, slow down, or your staff is too heavy, or both. That doesn't mean don't use the staff that you've got. Just slow it down for now, build that strength, and you'll have control in no time. Bring that to a stop and reverse it, pulling up and away from you. Think about deflecting or blocking strikes. This is forward, and then this is back. Cypress, welcome. Thank you for being here. I hope the sun is shining where you are. It's shining here today. I haven't been to Cyprus yet. My boxing coach has. Hey, Frank, if you're watching this, he said, welcome from Cyprus. You guys can speak to each other. In Greek, I would assume. All right, speeding up. Bring that to a stop. Take it with the other hand. We're not going to do the hand transfer yet. Just spinning forward, side to side, faster and faster. Building that speed and strength. And remember, so much of it is coming from a tight core. Small moves with the shoulders, small moves with the hips. My muscles are, even from the bottom of my feet, I feel my feet gripping the floor as I go faster and faster. This hand is always up. I just whack my knee, keep going. This hand is up in case I whack my head. But it's also a good habit to learn when you become a fighter, when you start doing martial arts. Street fight self-defense. What's the best martial art for street fight? It's the one you're practicing right now. That means stop studying and trying to find the perfect solution. Get in motion. It's like the machine gun, right? You find the target, the road's, what is it, the tank, let's call it a tank, we'll pretend like we're at war. The tank or the truck's coming down the road, you start to walk your rounds in, and you got it. But you don't wait until it's perfectly right in the thing, then it's gone, you lost your chance. You start getting the rounds going, bah, 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 bah. The bullets. Rounds, that's a military term. All right, we're in the reverse, pulling. The point is take action, do it now. When would right now, right this minute, be a good time to start learning how to defend yourself, build strength in your mind? All right, so we're gonna go back to spinning. We're also gonna strike a little today. I just want you to go over the back of the hand, thumb side, that means this hand comes up, it's perpendicular to the ground. Flip it and grab it. This is a wrist roll. Flip it and grab it. I'm assisting with this hand. That means it's gonna get out of the way in a second. Right now, I'm just teaching my hand what it's supposed to do. Comes here on the top, thumb gets out of the way, and flips over quickly. You have to be able to flick it or turn it quickly without flipping your staff away. When I started and I would go over that thing and I would flip it too much, it knocked my staff. That might happen to you, that's all right. Just keep picking it up. Once you go over the back of the hand, try it without the other hand. You'll have to slide. You asked me the other day, how do you keep it in the middle? Watch what happens. See, I'm balancing. It's also sliding up and down this way. I don't know if you can see that so well, but you have to get a feel and allow it to slide as you're going through to regain the center of the staff, to find that balance. It's gonna move a little bit. Once you've gone one way, then go back the other way. Pinky side, same thing. Open the hand, turn it. Open the hand and turn it, and get it out of the way. I find on this side, I need to slide a little bit more. I'm also doing all these motions for the camera, higher, chest height. And I wanted to talk about that today. You can do everything down here. Usually when you do it down here, it's gonna feel a little easier just because you're stronger here. This will not be as strong, but you can often get a lot more speed. Now go back and forth, one way and the other way. Wrist roll to wrist roll. That's the pinky side or the small side of my hand. And then I stop it, and this is where I start to fire these muscles in my forearm, in my hand. When I'm holding it high like this in my shoulders, you're gonna get strength here because you're putting some energy into that staff, gets momentum, and then you're bringing it to a stop and pushing it back the other way. Put it in the other hand, same thing. You can do the assisted first. You don't have to just do one side once you get it. By the way, there's no way to do this workout wrong. Just getting up and moving, that means you've done it right. The only thing that you could possibly do wrong, and maybe that's not even wrong, it's just a perspective, right? Is to find all of the things that I'm doing wrong and to write them into the comments below. On Facebook, I get a lot more comments, and I love them. I love all of the, man, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. I love all those comments. And then I look at the guy's profile, just out of curiosity. It doesn't upset me, it cracks me up, it really does. I've always had thick skin. I always think that I'm like going to be the best, that there's nothing that somebody else can do that I can't do. That's a blessing in my life. Part of that maybe came from my parents, I don't know. I don't know if everybody at my family got it, but. And it's not that I think I'm so great, it's just that I'm so hard-headed that I don't give up. I'm gonna keep asking questions. I'm gonna keep looking for a solution. That's what I want you to do too. That's why I love martial arts. Just don't quit. Keep moving in the direction you wanna go and you'll get there eventually. All right, but back to these comments. I read these comments the other day. And now that I'm older, I'm getting a lot of okay boomer comments, which I think is awesome. I'm not a boomer technically, I'm still too young, but I don't mind. Bring it to this side, palm up, and the hand here. Bring it to the other side, palm up. And I remember when I was younger and I was full of arrogance and ignorance. I was full of arrogance and I had a lot of ignorance. I don't think you can be full of ignorance. Ignorance is a lack, right? It's missing something. I was full of arrogance and lacking information, life experience, knowledge. I thought I knew everything though, just like most people do. That's why I don't get upset when these young guys are saying, you're doing it wrong. I took one class and read 12 books and watched Master Wong's video and Dewey's video from China. The guy tells a story, got like his bones like removed or something from some horrible fight in China. I watched that video and I thought, wow, man, that's just not worth it. But it already happened, so for him, I'm sure it's worth it. Good for you, buddy. Anyway, who's to say what experience is worth it or not, right? Anyway, so these guys, they read these videos. Make sure you're changing. They watch these videos and they learn a little bit of knowledge, like this much. And they start commenting on everybody else. Jake Mace, that's a good one. But people love to, especially Kung Fu guys, love to go to Jake Mace's website, tell him all the things he's doing wrong. According to what? The propaganda around Shaolin Kung Fu. It's run by the state, a bunch of actors. I'm not saying they're not good monks or they're not good actors or whatever. They're amazing athletes. Anyway, I'm just saying, you learn a lot. Oh, happy birthday, Jackie Chan. Now there's a true hero of mine for one reason only. The guy practices what he preaches. I don't think you'll find many people who train as hard, and when he says he can do something, he can do it. I think that comes from his wushu background, the ballet or the opera, that tradition of growing up as a performer. What a great martial artist. What a great example. A funny guy who can do amazing martial arts, walks the talk. It's a moving meditation. This is what I think of these staff spinnings. It's all moving meditation. All right, so this reverse grip, right? You're pulling it out. We're going to come back to that. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in detail, but I want to put it together with those wrist rolls. I want to show you something different today that I've been working on. I haven't done it in a while. Get behind your staff, because I want to talk about if you're going to learn how to use a Japanese bow staff and you're a beginner, you need to know how to defend yourself with this, especially today. Now, the world seems to be in a weird place. Hopefully we're going to go like this and out of it very quickly. Who knows? Maybe not. But I think we've entered a time of many generations that are going to have a lot of craziness. So learning how to defend yourself, you might not always have a gun, right? But you might always have access to something to strengthen your hands. So you put this in front of you, it's between you and the threat, right? This staff, this big stick, comes between you and whatever the threat is. The threat's coming at you, you step behind it, and then you just point your thumb at the threat. Pointing the thumb at the threat puts it in the backhand. Pointing the thumb at the threat also puts the stick between you and the threat. So you're paying attention. That's the first step of self-defense. You want to learn best martial art for street fight, self-defense. It's the one you're practicing right now, and it starts with pay attention, situational awareness. It's true for everything. You're paying attention. You see the threat over there. You just make yourself a smaller target. I'm a big guy, I'm a wide guy, right? You know that, if you know me all those years ago. I'm this wide, now I'm not as wide. Right here, all my vital organs are open, all my soft spots, all my targets. From here, now you gotta run through my stick. You gotta run through my bony arms, my bony legs. So make yourself a smaller target, point your thumb at the target in your head. This is where you take a deep breath. Always take a deep breath, self-defense, take a deep breath, and think. What are my targets? On the threat. The threat's coming at me. Maybe the threat's standing up. Maybe he's just trying to punch me or grab me. Maybe it's several people. They're trying to grab my clothes. This is a specific question. Where this person lives, they grab the clothes and then they beat him with an open hand, and they all come in at once. And some of you might know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a phenomenon in that part of the world. I'm here. I close the distance between me and the threat by sticking a stick between me and the threat. Now the distance that the person has to cover, or the threat has to cover, will have to go through or around the stick. They're not going through it, so they're going to have to go around it. Now, all of a sudden, I interrupted their pattern of attacking me, and they have to move in the way I want them to move. They can't come straight through the middle anymore because there's a stick there. They're going to have to go either on this side or this side. Now, if they go over here, I just hit them straight like that, straight in. That's your first strike for today. From here, your practice is get behind your stick, bring it to your hand, put your thumb at the threat, and then just straight in. You don't even have to pull it back. Pulling it back takes time. From here, straight in, and it goes down. Now, if they're coming on this side, remember I said they could come on this side, just switch positions with the stick. That'll knock their head clear off their face, right? Or their face off their head. From here, coming straight across, remove the jaw, break it. From here, close that, they're over here, just come straight across. And all that is, this position, that's the first strike, there's your second strike. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now you have 2 strikes. You know how to defend yourself with a big stick or a walking stick or a bow staff. Any other martial arts long staff. Maybe it's a Korean jongbong or the Chinese gun or bang. Maybe you're in India and you do silambam, right? Silambam, really, it's a thinner stick. It's not as long, but man, that thing moves fast. And those guys who are really the silambam masters, amazing. That's the birthplace of martial arts. Started in India, moved through China and other parts of Asia, but you bring it back to India. Think about the monks, Buddha, right? Dharma Buddha sits in the cave for 9 years, comes out. He teaches the Shaolin monks, who are now employees of the state, the Communist Party of China or whatever, CPP. But back then, when they were free people, he came down, they were getting beat up by all the local thugs. And he said, look, monks, you guys need to learn how to defend yourself. Pick up a stick, I'm gonna show you how to use it. And Daimo, the founder of Zen, Buddhism, started with this big stick. And he said, all right, put the stick between you and them. If they come on this side, smack them that way. If they come over here, if they stand there and they're coming forward, go straight in. And that's your third strike. You're just gonna push it in. And when you push it in, turn your hands over. Push it in, drive through their body. Think about the targets. We would briefly talk about that, right? Step 1, situational awareness, pay attention. Step 2, get behind your weapon. Step 3, point your thumb at it. Create distance between you and put a stick there. Interrupt their pattern. Stick it right between their eyes so they can't see you. They have to go like this, right? Breathe. Targets, what are my targets? Maybe he's got a knife this time. Maybe he's got a machete or a short sword. Maybe he's got a gun. Maybe it's 6 guys. Maybe it's a pack of animals roaming the streets because nobody's out anymore and they're hungry. And these wild animals, these feral dogs, are running around ripping people apart to shreds. Point your thumb at it. Now you just point them down. If it's on this side, hit him here, and then that jab. So this is your third strike. From here, just straight out. Here, out. Now notice I'm turning this hand over as I lock out that elbow. That's so if I hit something hard, it's a little too locked over, hit something hard, my body moves back and my hands don't collapse. You want your body to move. It's kind of like the bumper of a car, the bumper on a bus. It doesn't move. Wherever that bus goes or that car goes, the bumper's right in front of it. The bumper hits the other car, crushes it all to pieces, right? But the car, the engine, the grill, protect your grill, the grill doesn't get all busted up. The engine doesn't get broken. The fan that's cooling it down doesn't get broken. It hits the bumper first. So this is your bumper. Get that out there and lock it. And if something hard is charging at you that might move your body back, they might be bigger, but that's okay because you're gonna move back and then come in with a nice hard strike. I want you to finish now because I gotta get back to the kids' home when we're doing kids' school. I got to get back to that. I got to do the next level, or the math. Math comes up next. By the way, if you think you're not good at something, it's because you haven't studied it enough in the right way. You haven't asked the right number of questions. I grew up thinking I was not good at math because I had a father, and he, well-meaning father, he didn't mean to say this, but he used to look at me and he'd say, "You can't understand that, Matthew?" He called me Matthew. "You can't understand that? So easy. When I was your age." If you're a parent, make sure you don't do that. But in my head, I thought I couldn't do math. And then after I got out of school, I was frustrated, and I thought, who says I'm not good at math? And I found that there's another way to learn it. There's many ways to learn it. But I found the right way for my brain, and then I thought, oh, I am good at math. I just needed to learn it this other way. I had to keep asking the right questions. Keep asking. Don't ever say, I'm not good with names. Of course you're not. You haven't practiced enough. I'm not good with math. I'm not good with English. I'm not good with spelling. Whatever it is. I don't care what it is. If you're not good at something, you haven't practiced it enough. There's not anything you can't learn, you can't master. That doesn't mean you want to learn everything. I don't want to learn everything. I have no interest, no desire to learn certain things. But that doesn't mean I think I can't. See, I told you, that's how I think. I've got that thick skin. You can't hurt my self-esteem. But I don't want you to have thin skin either. I want you to have that thick skin, and nothing can hurt your self-esteem by saying, I can do anything. And it's not, I can do anything if I put my mind to it, because that's a lie. You got to put your mind to it, but you have to ask the right questions. You got to get the right coach. Then you got to sweat, blood, and tears. You got to get bruised. You got to fall down, break something, get cut up, get some stitches. Maybe you stitch yourself up when you're older. Whatever it is, but don't quit. Just keep getting back up. Don't quit. And then when someone says, "Sweetie, you're just so smart. You could do anything if you put your mind to it." That's your mom's voice, by the way. Then it becomes a true statement. Until then, until the part of where you do what you don't want to do, you do what you don't want to do, until then, it's a lie. You can do anything you want to if you put your mind to it. It's a lie unless you keep going and keep going and keep asking for help, asking the right questions. That's where most people fall short, because they don't want to get told no. Get out of here. I don't like your ugly face. Say, okay, put your hand over your face, and then ask your question again. But you have to keep going back and keep going back. If you ever hear that, I can't, you have to add the word yet. My kids are right here. They've heard it so many times it makes their ears bleed. Can't do it yet. That's growth mindset. Can't do it yet. Keep going and you'll get it. All right, final exercise. You're going to go into the figure 8 spin. When it's over here, this is my left hand. When it's on my right, I take it. When it's on my left, I take it with the left. And look, all I'm doing is I'm just putting pinky to pinky. Take it with the opposite hand when it comes to the opposite side. Start walking back, moving forward. Get your heart rate up a little bit. Spinning faster, moving faster. And then when it's over here and you take it with the right, spin it over the back of the hand. When you bring it over here to the left, spin it over the back of the left. So you've just added complexity to the workout. Not a lot, but enough to change the way your brain works. Give you new neural pathways, makes you smarter, makes you more resilient, starts to develop that growth mindset. Can't do it yet, but if I keep trying, if I keep going, keep asking the right questions, when they tell me no, I say, no, well, how could we turn your no into a yes? And I do that. That's just naturally now. That's what martial arts will do for you when you start and continue practicing. And just because you practiced 9 years ago and you didn't come to class since then, which may or may not have anything to do with you. Maybe you have a grandmother who feels sorry for you. Maybe you feel sorry for yourself. That happens to all of us. Maybe not a grandmother, but my grandmother certainly didn't. She was a tough woman, man. She grew up. Her mother, she told me this on her deathbed. She was dying. I held her hand as she passed into heaven. She was a tough broad, man. Anyway, she said her grandmother, because the mother was not there, would take her books from the bookmobile because they made her drop out of school to work on the farm. She'd throw them in a fireplace. And you know what? She taught herself how to read. And she took pride in that. She read like a book a day. She was extremely smart and accomplished, had a very rich and full life because of that mental toughness. You need some mental toughness. I'm not saying horrible things have to happen to you either. They don't. Just every time you fall down, get up. Every time you drop this stick, your staff hits the ground, pick it up. Make this rule. Drop it more than twice. On the third time, follow it to the ground. Stick it on the backs of your hands and do push-ups with it right there. Do 5 every time you drop it. That way you're getting stronger. It's not a punishment. It's an opportunity to grow stronger and faster. You get back up, you start spinning it, you drop it, follow it. Down 5 more push-ups. All right, you get the idea. I really appreciate all the comments. I realize I've been doing like this on my videos. I don't want you to see my nostril hairs. I haven't trimmed them. So I'll respond to them though. I'll read them and I'll put the responses in the comment section. And if you're watching this after we were live, I'm doing these live because I don't have time to edit right now, and I really, really appreciate it. What do you mean get motivated to work out? It doesn't take motivation. This is free for you, because I thought for years it was motivation. I thought for years it was motivation. How do I get motivated? And I read every motivational thing you can possibly imagine. It's not motivation. It's discipline. You get up and you move. You take one step. Motion changes emotion. You're waiting, you're thinking, you're looking for the perfect opportunity. There's a million reasons why. I don't know what they are. Doesn't matter what they are for you or me or anybody else. Just take the first step, and it's easier to take the second step. And that sounds cliche and too simple, but that's it. You just have to start. Don't look for motivation. I don't know, especially now, your generation, I'm not yelling at you. Well, I am, but I'm not yelling at you specifically. It's normal for you guys to be looking for motivation because we've told you it's motivation. It's not. Motivation has nothing to do with it. I promise you. I'm too old now to keep making that lie. So I don't make motivational videos. Don't look for motivation. Just take the first step. Right now, right this second, drop and do 5 push-ups. Put it on a timer on your watch or on your, you guys don't wire watches, right? Put it on your phone. Every 5 minutes, you're gonna do 5, especially if you got nothing else to do. Every 5 minutes, do 5 push-ups. Every 5 minutes, do 5 push-ups. If you miss 5 minutes, do 5 push-ups the next 5 minutes. Don't beat yourself up, because that's not what this is about either. It's just get started. Here's what's the best thing you can do in the morning. You start with a little book, and you write down all the things you're grateful for. Thank you for waking me up today. Thank you that I can breathe. I got air in my lungs. Thank you that even if you don't feel like saying it, say it anyway. Thank you for the sun shining today. Maybe the sun's not shining. Thank you that I can still hear. Good, keep wearing a watch. I just took mine off because I roll it over the back of the hand on this one. I love my watch. Thank you, all your gratitude. Start with gratitude every single day. You have to prime your mind. This is not motivation. It has nothing to do with motivation. This is habits. Daily habits will support you getting anywhere you want. Daily disciplines. You need a daily discipline. The first discipline, write down what you're thankful for. At some point, you won't have to write anymore. It'll just come in your head every morning, like mine. It's like turning on a TV show. My body aches. I got big cracks in my feet because the skin's all dried out and you can see blood comes out every once in a while. Whatever it is. And I'm tired and worried about stuff and the world seems crazy and I'm thinking, what about this? And I got to take care of my kids. I got to get up early, make breakfast, all that. Before all of that, and you feel that, right? Take a deep breath, sit in the bed, lay in the bed, whatever you have to do, but don't go back to sleep. Thank you for waking me up. That's the first thing you start with. Thank you that I can still breathe. Thank you that I can see. Because some people can't. Thank you I can hear. Because some people can't. Thank you that I have my arms and my legs that work. And maybe your legs don't work, but your arms work. Whatever it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Only about 30 seconds. Write down 5 or 6. And if you can put it in detail, it's even better. Thank you for me. Thank you that I can hear the beautiful sounds of my children's voices. And that's a true statement for me. And then that primes me. That primes me. Priming is when you're trying to start an engine and you got to pour a little gasoline in there. Don't do that if you don't know what you're doing. Pour a little gasoline, boop, 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 and then it starts. So you prime it, right? Good. Keep doing it. You got to prime the engine. Then the second thing, you have to have a physical discipline, whether it's a walk, whether I like to do this. This is my favorite of all time. I'll give it to you free. I do squats in the kitchen as I'm making breakfast. I do sets of 25 and then I do 25 push-ups. You might not do 25 and 25 yet, but do 10 squats and 5 push-ups, 10 squats and 5 push-ups. And even if you kind of do them in a lazy way, not the best, then that's okay, because you're doing something. Do that first. Get your heart rate going. Take a glass of water. If it's small, drink 3 of them. If it's a medium size, drink 2 of them. See where I'm going? But send some water down there. That'll help with the digestion. That gets everything moving. You go to the bathroom. I know I'm not trying to be gross, but this is all important. This is all part of that priming the body. Get the blood flowing. Get more oxygen in there. Stay healthy. Fight the depression. Some of you guys who fight the depression, I understand that's okay, however you word it. But motion changes emotion. Get some water in there. Water cools the body and gets the electrolytes moving. You'll feel better almost immediately. So you drink your water, you do squats, you do push-ups, drink your water, squats, push-ups. Then whatever you do the rest of the day, you've primed yourself. All the rest of it, writing down your goals and your tasks and all that stuff, I can go into deep detail because I've been doing that for 30 years now. And I'm living here in Florida. The sun's shining. I have no students, but I got a beautiful school. I've got you guys watching me and interacting. I'm like the ocean's right here. This is the most, but this didn't happen by accident. Everything, and it didn't happen necessarily, it wasn't my exact vision, but it's better than any vision that I've written down. I've had vision boards, I wrote it down. It's true, it all works. It all works, it'll work for you. Work for me. If it works for me, it can work for anybody. Because I'm not the smartest person, but I stay with things as long as I can. I'm tenacious, but I wasn't like that. I wasn't born that way. I wasn't raised that way. I trained myself. Martial arts is a big part of it. But you can do exactly everything that I do. Start with those before you get out of bed, or maybe you're sitting on the edge of the bed, or you're brushing your teeth, or whatever your first thing is in the morning. What are you thankful for? 30 seconds at the least, 2 minutes at the most. Don't waste time on it. You don't have to have a million things. 3 to 5 is good. And it doesn't have to be, I'm thankful for my family. It can be, if that's really what you're thankful for. If you're a young person, that's not that big of a deal yet. You can say, you know what, thank you for giving me another day to try to figure some stuff out. And then you're gonna have like anxiety, and you're gonna be, especially if you're a young person, you have all these hormones going through, and you're anxious now, you're angry then, you say things you wish you hadn't, can't take them back. All that stuff is true. Don't beat yourself up for it, acknowledge it. Thank you for another day to work on my temper. Thank you for another day to work on my fears. Thank you for another day to try to be bold and proceed throughout the world. Whatever it is, but say that. Prime yourself. Take those glasses of water, just 2 or 3, and just chug them. Get them down there. You don't have to worry so much about drinking 20 glasses during the day. But then you keep moving, right? My battery's about to die. Keep moving. Squats, push-ups, squats, push-ups, squats, push-ups, and then go do your day. I will see you on the next one. I really got to get going. Thank you again so much. Keep asking your questions. I'll keep trying to answer them. I'll see you next time.